They must vote for various reasons, mainly because the future is theirs. This country has always been transformed by young people. Even Nelson Mandela, when he changed his own organization, the ANC, he was only 25, 26. So it's very important that young people participate in shaping their own futures. Well, democracy first and foremost means the ability to shape your own future. And again, the key word is participation. Because if you do not participate, then nobody is going to know what your views are. You must express yourself. Even if your party doesn't win, it doesn't matter. The mere fact that you have expressed your view will make you to be able to sleep at night. And remember that the democracy did not come for free. People died for it. And therefore, participation is the least we can do to pay our respects to those people who died so that we can vote.
I think democracy for South Africa, after 20 years of democracy, has meant that we have political freedom. We can now today sit on a bench with a white person. But true democracy is when every South African in this country feels valued. Every South African has a job. Every South African has a home. And the only way to deal with democracy meaningfully is for us to deal with those inequalities, where every South African can proudly say, I am South African.
If you do not eliminate inequality, then you're going to have an unstable society, then you're going to have more crime, then you're going to have more abuse against vulnerable groups who will include women and children. So inequality is really the number one problem, because it brings poverty, and that's why our policies are aimed at bringing as much equality as possible.
Empowerment is an essential component. Aganga obviously is led by Mampela Rampela, and her approach to politics is to introduce that important aspect of femininity into leadership, where you serve South Africans, and that aspect needs to be felt not only in the political space, but we need to replicate that in our leadership spaces across the country. But we shouldn't only be talking about how many women hold positions, but what position are we taking on women's issues? Are we pushing that agenda? Because the only way to really be free is for all South Africans, regardless of race, gender, religion, to be free and able to pursue their passions.
Women in particular, because women as economic agents, some of the contributions that women make into a society are not even counted as part of the GDP, which is nonsense, because that is economic activity. Economic activity should include every endeavor, even those that the women contribute at their home should be reckoned in what we call our economic welfare.
And don't just be disappointed, because the sad truth about the current political space is that politicians these days will lie to you. They have forgotten about accountability, about competency, about being accountable to you as the voter. And our approach, Aganga's approach of putting the South African citizen first, as a young person, you are responsible because your future is being shaped by these leaders. The only way to change that is for you to participate, for you to be active in politics. Because if you're not active, you're leaving it to the crazy people. After this election, regardless of the results, we will continue to champion the interest of South Africans, and we will work at reaching more South Africans so that they feel empowered, so that their voice is valued and that their voice is heard in the new parliament, regardless of how many votes we get.